Good day. I am Dr. Monre Isaiah Mancilia from the Department of Health, Bicol Center for Health Development. Today, we will learn about cold chain system and its important equipments. Vaccines are temperature-sensitive biological products. Thus, recommended storage temperatures for vaccines and diluents should be strictly maintained at all levels of the cold chain. To ensure safety and potency of vaccines in protecting individuals against vaccine-preventable diseases, all immunization and cold chain staff must know and carry out the correct handling and management of vaccines and immunization supplies. The cold chain is a system of storing and transporting vaccines in good condition from one manufacturer to the person being immunized. The system includes vaccines, immunization supplies, and cold chain equipments. It is also referred to as vaccine supply chain. Cold chain system ensures that vaccines are kept potent from the point of manufacture to the point of administration and stored at the correct temperatures throughout the chain. The complete chain is illustrated in this figure. The series at the top shows where the data are collected, recorded, checked, and analyzed, and how reporting information flows back to the chain. The series of arrows at the bottom of the figure shows the flow of the vaccines down to the health facilities. Following this sequence ensures that cold chain performance are properly monitored and necessary information is gathered to aid vaccine forecasting. In the Philippines, vaccines and immunization supplies are stored and managed at different locations. It is therefore important to plan and coordinate the delivery of vaccines and other immunization supplies to ensure that all health centers and other service delivery points are provided with adequate vaccines, correct diluents, and adequate syringes, droppers, and safety boxes. Different levels within the cold chain system require different types of equipment for transporting, for storing vaccines and diluents within their required temperature ranges. Different levels within the cold chain system are national level, regional level, provincial or city level, and rural health units or hospitals. The cold chain officer of each municipal health office or rural health office are expected to accomplish the following tasks. First is to collect, receive, store, and distribute vaccines based on national standards. Second, acknowledge receipt of vaccine and other immunization supplies from the provincial NIP coordinator and update the vaccine control card. Number 3, monitor and record the temperature of cold chain equipment 2 times a day, including weekends and holidays. Number 4, monitor and record the status of thermometer, vaccine vial monitor, and expiry date. Number 5, prepare and submit monthly reports on vaccine requisition, inventory, utilization, and wastage. Number 6, immediately report equipment breakdown to the next higher level or to the supervisor. And number 7, implement contingency plans for the cold chain emergencies. The NIP point person at the Rural Health Office are expected to accomplish the following tasks. First is calculate the annual and quarterly vaccine and immunization supply requirements with buffer stock and share the information to the provincial or city NIP coordinator and cold chain manager. Second is ensure timely and adequate receipt and delivery of vaccines and immunization supplies. Number 3 is ensure monthly report submissions to the provincial NIP coordinator and cold chain manager on vaccine requisition, vaccine utilization, and cold chain equipment inventory. And fourth is immediately alert the provincial NIP coordinator and cold chain manager on any risk of vaccine stockout. At the provincial level, the provincial city vaccine cold chain managers are expected to accomplish the following tasks. First is receive and store and manage vaccines properly. Second is maintain cold chain facility in good condition. Number three is maintain the ideal temperature at all times and record temperatures at least twice a day, including holidays and weekends. Number four is maintain and manage provincial database on vaccines and utilization supplies. Fifth is ensure implementation of provincial vaccine allocation and distribution based on analysis of vaccination requisition, distribution, utilization, and wastage. And number six, or sixth, is receive, validate, and process vaccine requisition and distribute to the different health facilities. Seventh is support training activities relative to vaccine and cold chain management. And eighth, implement contingency plans for cold chain emergencies. Again, at the provincial level, the NIP provincial coordinators are expected to accomplish the following tasks. First is calculate the annual and quarterly vaccine and immunization supply requirement. Second is furnish the regional NIP coordinator and regional cold chain manager with a supply allocation and distribution plan. Third is ensure adequate and timely receipt of vaccine and immunization supply. Fourth is ensure data collection, consolidation, validation, analysis of provincial report submissions on vaccine requisition, distribution, allocation, and inventory. Fifth is conduct quarterly inventory of vaccines and annual inventory of vaccine cold chain equipment. Sixth is conduct field monitoring, training, and supportive supervision. Seventh is provide relevant training. And eighth, monitor functionality and recommend upgrading of the cold chain system as needed. Now, at the regional level, the regional cold chain manager are expected to do and deliver the following tasks. First is receive, store, and manage vaccines properly. Second is maintain cold chain facility in good condition. Third is maintain the ideal temperature of a vaccine at all times and record temperatures twice a day, including holidays and weekends. Fourth is maintain and manage provincial database on vaccines and immunization supplies. Fifth is ensure implementation of regional vaccine allocation and distribution based on analysis of vaccination, requisition, distribution, utilization, and wastage. Sixth is receive, validate, and process vaccine requisition and distribution at different health facilities. Seventh is support training activities relative to vaccine and cold chain management. Eighth is implement contingency plans for cold chain emergencies. Well, the role of the National Immunization Program Regional Manager is to accomplish the following task. Calculate the annual and quarterly vaccine and immunization supply requirement for the region. Second is furnish the National NIP Coordinator as well as the National Cold Chain Manager with the supply allocation and distribution plan. Third is ensure adequate and timely receipt of vaccine and immunization supply. Fourth is ensure data collection, consolidation, validation, analysis of regional reports like the requisition, distribution, allocation, and inventory. Number five is conduct a quarterly inventory of vaccines and annual inventory of cold chain equipment. And sixth is conduct field monitoring, training, and supportive supervision. Now we know the roles of our different internal stakeholders for the system. Now let us proceed with the cold chain elements. There are several key elements in the cold chain system, and this includes number one, materials or the equipment, number two, the transport, number three, financial resources like funds, number four, the norms and standard followed across the system, and number four, the human resource requirement. Let us first discuss the cold chain equipment. There are several cold chain equipment available in the market. However, to ensure that the equipment can safely store vaccine and can maintain the cold chain system, it is important that equipment procured have the WHO pre-qualification certificate or the WHO PQS certification. Cold chain equipments are broadly classified into either fast cold chain or slow cold chain. Slow cold chain includes equipment designed to store vaccines for longer duration, while fast cold chain, on the other hand, include equipment designed for storage of vaccines for shorter duration and are used in transporting vaccines to immunization units. Slow cold chain includes chest-type refrigerator, shown in the left, and vertical or upright refrigerators and freezers, shown on the right. This slide shows the common slow cold chain equipments available in our health units. Fast cold chain includes vaccine cold box, also called transport box, and vaccine carriers. This slide also shows the common fast cold chain equipments available in our health units. There are several standards set to ensure safety of the equipment. For vaccine ref and freezers, it is important that we ensure that the room is well ventilated and protected from direct sunlight and heat to avoid damage of the equipment. We need to place the refrigerators or freezers about 12 inches away from the wall to facilitate air circulation and avoid continuous running of the motor, which may damage it. We also need to place the refrigerators on wood blocks approximately 1 to 2 inches thick to keep it from moving. We need to ensure that each piece of equipment is permanently connected to an electrical outlet. Likewise, it should be connected to a voltage regulator such that we can avoid the damage of an equipment shall there be any regular power fluctuations. We also need to keep the doors firmly shut. We need to open the door only when you have to take out or store a vaccine. Chest-type refs provided by the Department of Health and its partners that are now available in the different health facilities are designed with ref baskets or racks. This should not be removed, and vaccines should be placed inside the basket or the racks. This is to ensure that vaccines will not be exposed to a colder temperature of the wall of the refrigerator. Likewise, we need to defrost the refrigerator whenever frost becomes more than 1/4 inches thick. We may place bottles of water in the refrigerator to help maintain storage temperatures. However, bottles of water should be labeled not for drinking. Please do not keep food and drinks in the refrigerator, as this may contaminate the vaccine and the equipment, among many other reasons. We need to defrost and clean refrigerators and freezers regularly, at least monthly. And please do not stock or put any items on top of the equipment. To properly maintain the equipment, regular tasks should be done. This includes daily maintenance checks. We need to make sure that the temperature inside the refrigerator or freezer are between the recommended temperatures. For refrigerators, that is positive 2 to positive 8 degrees Celsius, and for refrigerators, negative 15 degrees Celsius to negative 25 degrees Celsius. For this purpose, always keep a thermometer inside the refrigerator. There are also weekly maintenance. This includes the check of ice formation on the freezer, and if the ice is thicker than 1/4 of an inch, we need to defrost the freezer immediately. And for the monthly maintenance, we keep the condenser and the compressor clean. We remove any dirt or dust with soft brush. And likewise, we check the refrigerator for any of the following. Number 1, damaged surface and part. And number 2, rusted parts. We need to fix it immediately to avoid progression of the damage. There are also periodic tasks. These tasks are performed whenever necessary, and this include cleaning of the refrigerator inside and out using damp cloth and mild detergent, and cleaning the door gasket and powder it with Dactum to prevent it from sticking. As for the care of fast cold chain equipment, after each use, please clean the cold box or vaccine carriers thoroughly with a soft cloth and leave the lid open to allow complete air drying. We need to examine all surface and repair cracks or straps immediately. Further, during and between the use, please keep cold boxes and vaccine carriers away from direct sunlight. Ice packs or conditioned ice packs should be used every time the equipment is used for transporting and storing vaccine in fast cold chain equipment. Appropriate number of conditioned ice packs should be used. For vaccine carriers, at least 4 conditioned ice packs are required every time the vaccine carrier is used. While for the cold boxes, the 6 walls of the box should be lined with conditioned ice packs. Now, let us apply our new learning and role play as if we are the cold chain managers monitoring our next or our other facilities. So basically what we're going to do is we will be showing on each slide a picture of which we are to identify the not so good practices observed and provide a better practical solution. For the first picture, please review and comment on this picture. First thing I observed is that the vaccine carrier used is not the vaccine carrier provided by the Department of Health and its partners. A better way to improve this is advise the cold chain manager to use the vaccine carrier provided by the Department of Health, as those vaccine carriers have the WHO PQS certificate, hence are safer to use. The container is also dirty. This may contaminate the vaccines if this will be used for its storage and transportation. Should this be a vaccine carrier or a transport box, the ice packs should line the walls of the container. Ice packs should be the ice pack should be used are conditioned ice packs? Well, if you still have more answers, please let us know through the chat box or the comment section. Now, this is the second picture. Kindly review it and let us look and identify implementation gaps or cold chain gaps. Well, in this picture, the vaccine carrier used is the one provided by the Department of Health and its partners. However, we can only see two ice packs inside. Ideally, there should be four conditioned ice packs placed inside the vaccine carrier to ensure maintenance of cold chain temperature. Good point here is that they are using resealable plastic pouches. Vaccines should be placed inside resealable plastic pouch to avoid contamination and avoid contact of the label and VVM or vaccine vial monitor with the liquid that might affect the integrity of the VVM and the loss of the details of the vial. Well, if you have more answers again, please let us know through the chat box or the comment section. On to the third picture. One observation that I could see here is basically there could have been a better arrangement of the vaccines inside. Likewise, other items, especially those items not used for the vaccination, should be removed. As we can see here, there's an egg tray inside. Okay, so if you still have more answers, please let us know through the chat box or the comment section. And now for the fourth picture. We can see here that the ice buildup is more than 1/4 of an inch. This means that immediate defrosting should be done. Frosts and ice slowly build up on the surface of the freezing compartment while it is working. If these are allowed to be too thick, they prevent efficient cooling of the refrigerator compartment. Hence, regular defrosting is essential in maintaining the coolness of the refrigerator. We can also see here that the door of the freezer is broken and hence will be needing fixing as well. If you still have more answers, please let us know through the chat box or the comment section. To properly defrost a refrigerator, the following are the steps. For electrical and solar powered equipment, the first thing is we need to remove the vaccine and store it in another working refrigerator or cold box with ice packs, making sure that the temperature requirement is maintained. The second is we need to switch off the refrigerator and pull out the plug. Then open the refrigerator and freezer doors and allow air to come in. Remove all ice packs from the freezer and then open the drain plug at the bottom for the chest type refrigerators. Well, of course, we need to put a bowl or a tray in front or underneath to collect the melting ice, hence the water. The next step is to remove loose ice by hands only, and we need to avoid using tools such as sharp instruments. Next is we need to clean the refrigerator thoroughly and let it dry. Air dry is preferred. We need to reconnect then the power plug and turn the refrigerator on. Then we wait until the refrigerator is running and at the correct temperature before replacing the vaccines. It is important to remember to please do not remove frosts or ice with knife or any sharp instruments. Doing so can damage the refrigerators. Since vaccines are temperature-sensitive biological products, temperature monitoring devices should be present and functional at all times. Monitor the temperature inside the storage or transport equipment to ensure vaccine potency is maintained throughout the entire cold chain. There are different types of temperature monitoring device. We have digital, analog, dial type, fridge tag, and many other more. But they all give you a temperature reading. As a general rule, when receiving vaccines deliveries, always check for the presence of a temperature monitoring device and record the temperature reading upon opening of the box. If an electronic device is used, it has to be stopped and temperature recorded in a memory should be checked and verified for any temperature excursions that may potentially cause damage to the vaccines. The temperature recording can be used as basis to request replacements of vaccines damaged either by heating or by freezing. Calibrate non-disposable temperature monitoring device annually to ensure optimal functioning and reliability of cold chain equipment temperature monitoring. Some refrigerators, like this test chest type refrigerator, has its thermometer attached in one of its walls. This is an example of an integrated digital thermometer which provides an instantaneous reading of the temperature located in the control panel. It measures the coldest point of the cabinet or the ref. Again, to reiterate, please calibrate non-disposable temperature monitoring devices annually to ensure optimal functioning and reliability of cold chain equipment temperature monitoring. Accurate and comprehensive temperature records are key components of good storage and distribution. Records alone, however, are of no value unless they are used for management and quality assurance purposes. Active use of information shows whether vaccines are systematically being exposed to damaging temperatures and equipment performance problems are identified and addressed. Recorded temperature data must be analyzed and reviewed regularly to establish whether key performance indicators are being met. Specific and appropriate actions should be done to maintain and repair the equipment. Health workers managing the vaccines are required to check the temperature readings at least twice daily, 7 days a week. However, for those vaccines containing COVID-19 vaccines, we are being required to monitor and take the temperature readings at least 4 times daily for 7 days a week. This will serve as a check and balance of other temperature monitoring device and proof of the actions taken. The person in charge of monitoring cold chain temperature should continue to log the temperature reading twice a day, even during weekends and holidays. Again, in the case of COVID-19, 4 times a day, including weekends and holidays. Alternatively, the facility staff may agree to come up with a shift schedule on staff who will be changed or who will be in charge of temperature monitoring and recording during weekends and holidays. Designating other staff to carry out the task is also important in the case the staff responsible is not able to do his job due to sickness, leave of absence, or emergency situation. Here is a copy of a temperature monitoring chart. The shaded part of the chart indicates the safe temperature for the compartment. So for refrigerator, that is from 0 to 8 degrees Celsius, and for freezers, that is -15 to -25 degrees Celsius. The four rows at the bottom allow health staff to record other necessary information on the history of the equipment malfunction or power interruption, including the name of the daily recorder. Ideally, other staff should know the ideal temperature for vaccine refrigerators and freezers, aside from the cold chain manager. This will ensure that temperature monitoring and recording is maintained in case of absence or transfer of the cold chain manager. Simple printing guides and algorithms can be visibly displayed in vaccine storage house to guide other staffs or on the performance of temperature monitoring and recording in the event that the cold chain manager could not perform the tasks. These are the steps in completing the temperature monitoring chart. First is we need to accomplish one temperature monitoring chart for each of the cold chain equipment at the start of each month. We need to enter the name of the facility where the equipment is located and the month and year when the temperature recorded was taken. Number three is we need to identify the brand and the serial number of the equipment. Number four, we need to read the temperature first in the morning and put a dot on the leftmost part of the line corresponding to the reading column of date when the reading was made. Number five is read the temperature again in the afternoon prior to departure and put another dot at the rightmost part of the line corresponding to the reading column. Number six, connect the dots to plot the temperature reading. Number seven is record other information in case of any equipment failure and carry out appropriate action immediately. And eight, record the name of the staff responsible for reading the temperature daily. And that is it. For the next topic, we will be discussing guideline or guiding principles for vaccine and cold chain management, which includes the multi-dose vial policy or the MDVP. See you again.